You're listening to the Cleveland Gary Show on WFLM 104.5, The Flame.
Hi, welcome to the Cleveland Gary Show. Very excited this evening. This is my first show on The Flame, and I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Larry Lee. And as a matter of fact, I was a guest on his show a couple of weeks ago, and we had talked previously about having the Cleveland Gary Show. And so we finally made it happen, and I'm here. This is my first show on The Flame, so bear with me. We may make a few mistakes, but that's all right. I'm so excited to talk about business. This show will be a combination of business and sports. I would say 25% will be sports, and the other 75% will be business. My background, I played, professional football. Most of you all know that, but I've been a businessman for quite some time. And it's a blessing to be able to be in a position to help people, to make a difference, to give back. And I'm so lucky, so blessed to have companies that does just that. And two of the companies we'll be talking about today is Ecrit and the Black Shopping Channel. And as it relates to sports, we will have a surprise guest on a little bit later in the show. Today I have with me Bill Huston, who's a magnet when it comes to crowdfunding, and he's been in the financial arena for a long time. His objective is to make a difference in people's lives. He understands the need of capital for small business owners. And Bill has worked endlessly hours to make things happen as it relates to getting small business owners funded. So when Bill and I met, he said, Cleveland, I got to be a part of this. I got to be a part of this. What we have with this company, Ecrit, is just amazing. This is a disruptor. It's going to make a major difference in the lives of many of those people that are unbankable, that does not have, that haven't had an opportunity to be a homeowner. And so we've come up with some ideas and ways to not only educate you as a listener, to give you all the added tools you need to be financially independent. And that's what the Cleveland Gary Show is all about. How can we make a difference? How can we impact your life? And on the other scorecard, we have Julia Pittman, who's been a member of another company that we've owned. It's called the Black Shopping Channel. The Black Shopping Channel is America's first minority-owned TV shopping channel. We've been on Dish Network on 14.5 million homes. And we work endless hours as it relates to our e-commerce website at blackshoppingchannel.com to create a platform for vendors to sell their products and reach the global consumer, creating the opportunity for them to make money, to be financially independent. And in lieu of that, we have the Black Shopping Channel music division, where artists can come and upload their music and sell them at the price they want to sell them at, which puts them in a position to be not only music artists, but business owners, controlling their own destiny. And that's what this is all about. And so we're glad to have Julia Pittman with us today. Thank you, Julia, for joining us. And we will talk with her.
It's Rodgers now. So.
Julia, oh, time Davis.
It's been a long time for us.
Well, you look good, Julie. You look
Thank
good.
You.
Yeah, I tell you, time does make a difference, I tell you. But it's nice to have you, Bill. I'm so glad you can join me. You're a very busy man. And I just want to thank you for coming on the first Cleveland Gary Show to talk to me about Ecrit. And let's get this show started and empower our people.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the invitation. And I'd like to start with a little background, where you began about our meeting and introduction. And, when the first time I spoke to you about Ecrit, and I took a look at the website and started to really dig into the website and some of the opportunities that it presented, the first thing that came to mind as a crowdfunder was that this is the goose that laid the golden egg as far as crowdfunding goes, right? Crowdfunding is all about being able to raise capital, but also giving people in the community an opportunity to invest. And what Ecrit brought to the table was the ability to invest in a low dollar, small dollar amount. But the thing that was really powerful about eCred, because it's a publicly traded company, was the fact that once you invest, you are instantly liquid because it's a publicly traded company. In the crowdfunding space, you have to hold your stock or your equity for at least a year. That's the law. And then after that, it could take up to 5-10 years maybe for a company to really become profitable enough for you to be able to make that stock and equity liquid. And that was the first thing that really jumped out to me, was that this is an opportunity for people to invest at a small dollar amount and actually own a piece of eCred. And then the other side of eCred that is really exciting to me is the opportunity to change an antiquated credit scoring system. It's a credit scoring system where, some 79% of people literally have inaccurate information on their report. And because of the way those credit reports happen, they're never dealing directly, business to consumer. So what happens a lot of times is it could take, months to even start to dig into your credit report and the inaccuracies on that. A lot of times, in order to repair your credit, you have to pay a lot of money to go through a credit repair company. And then it could take up to 7 years for you to really get your credit repaired and to be able to start to move forward with life again. eCred, the advantages that eCred brings to the table, and I think that this is the most powerful advantage that eCred brings, is that they have this redemption process, right? So if you do have a ding on your credit, if you do make a late payment, then you know exactly what you have to do to be redeemed, right? It's not up to someone who you've never met. It's not up to something that you don't know. It is literally up to you to make that consistent payment. If you're 30 days late, you make that consistent payment for 6 months and, you're redeemed. And that's powerful, just knowing what it is that you have to do, to get your credit score back where it needs to be in order to move forward. For me, that is really powerful. And then using that fintech and that financial technology to be able to upload, your payments right there in real time, that reduces those errors. Reduces or eliminates those errors, because as soon as you pay your bill through the eCred payment portal, it's recorded right there. So you know that you paid the bill and it's ready to move forward. So eCred, to me, is an outstanding opportunity for people to invest through small dollars, but also drive the market cap by being able to use the eCred credit system and the mortgage system. So I am super excited about this.
Thank you, Bill. And Bill, you and I discuss eCred on a regular basis. And when you look at eCred, let's break it down in sequential order. First of all, it's a credit bureau. Most people in the general public think that Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are governmental agencies, or they are part of a governmental agencies. And that is not correct. They're individually owned. They're publicly traded companies, just like eCred. What makes eCred so unique is the fact that you can create your own credit report by adding unconventional as well as conventional bills, such as unconventional deemed as your light bill, your water bill, your phone bill, your auto insurance, even your rental payments. All of these payments validate your credit worthiness. And the other part of what makes eCred so exciting is the fact that it's a B2C company. The major credit bureaus, the Equifaxes, Experian, and TransUnions, no offense. The fact of the matter is they are B2B2C corporations. What that means, I will reiterate what you've said, is the fact that the creditor reports to the major 3 credit bureaus, all right, every single month, your information. And then that's a B2B, business to business. And then the credit bureau makes that information available to you, the consumer. That's the B2C. That is a B2B2C. Now, when you receive that information, you have no idea. You don't get a heads up. You have no idea if that information is accurate or inaccurate. And that's why you have millions of people that are disputing these credit bureaus. And there's a survey that was taken where 80% of the American population have some sort of inaccuracy on their credit report, which puts them in a position of jeopardy, putting them in a position where their interest rates are higher or they're not able to get a loan. They're turned down, even though they have the income to debt ratio to service their current debt situation. Now at ECRIT, you're in full control of your ECRIT credit report. It's a B to C operation, business to customer. It's you and ECRIT. You make your payments every single month through the ECRIT bill pay portal, and it updates your ECRIT credit report in real time. You are in control of your credit life at ECRIT, which puts you at an advantage to where you will never ever have an inaccuracy, which makes it much easier for the lenders to evaluate your credit report in an authentic fashion, eliminating any possibilities of inaccuracies and putting you in a disadvantage with a higher interest rate if you should get approved or you get turned down. So at ECRIT, we want to improve the quality of your life, take out the middleman, and put you in full control. You're in full authority when it comes to your credit report. So I encourage all of you out there, if you want to give ECRIT a try, I encourage you to. You can create your own ECRIT credit report simply by going to ecrit.com, clicking on the Create Your ECRIT Credit Report, adding 4 creditors such as your light bill, your water bill, your auto insurance, even rental payments, validate your credit worthiness. Now you have an ECRIT credit report. Now there's a lag 30-day delay. Your credit reports become active, and now you can start taking advantage of the 4th step, which is utilizing the lending portal of ECRIT. And Bill, you and I have talked about that in depth about the lending aspects of it. When you got a credit bureau that looks at your ECRIT credit report and makes the decision as it relates to you getting approved or you getting a higher or lower interest rate, we do that ourselves. We're what you call a non-QM lender, non-qualified mortgage lender. We can make our decisions without having to pull your Equifax ECRIT, your Equifax Experian or TransUnion credit report.
Which is,
I just wanted
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to jump in as a regular person. And
Yeah,
I can remember a time, no, I remember a time when, I'm an entrepreneur. I've never worked a 9-to-5 job in my life. So I never had the traditional W-2s and things like that people look for when you go to apply for an apartment or some simple things. I went to get a simple apartment. And because I live a cash life and live in my means, the landlord was like, how come you don't have any credit? I said, because I live a cash life, but I pay my bills on time. My landlords love me. My utility companies don't have a problem with me, but I was a person who was in a situation where I didn't have enough credit. So, I don't have credit card bills. I pay as I go, and I'm okay. I'm at peace doing that. And it always made me feel pressured to go and get credit cards that I didn't want to prove that I'm credit worthy when I am, in fact, a person who pays my bills on time. So I'm very excited. I just wanted to jump in as just like a regular person who lives a regular life to say that's, this idea, this concept is something I think that is so valuable for people who not just have had trouble with credit, but for people who didn't want the burden of credit and live within their means and live the cash life and now want to do bigger things, but can't just because they don't have the kind of history that matters.
Julie, good point. Now, you are an ECRIT member. I know you're also a Black Shopping Channel member, and we've talked about ECRIT a little bit. And you've told me, Cleveland, I'm a cash person, and I'm not bankable with the 3 credit bureaus. But why should I be penalized from having to get, a $400,000 or $500,000 house and having to pay a higher interest rate when I'm truly bankable. I pay my unconventional bills on time, and that's not fair. That's not right. But it's good to hear that from a person who's a member who utilizes the eCrit portal and does not is not you're not in the trenches every day here, with me and Bill, but it's good to hear that coming from someone who is an eCrit member and who likes the platform, who loves the B2C model. And so we appreciate that comment. And this is unscripted, by the way. But also, when we talk about America, this great country in which we live, you want a better quality of life for people. That's what it's all about. My mother once told me, she said, it doesn't matter how much money you make as an individual. It doesn't matter how big your house is, what kind of car you drive. She says to me, until you are making a difference in someone else's life, you are not successful. And I want to be successful. And that's my definition of success, being able to make a difference and impact other people's lives. And that's what we want to do for you. And that leads into this next topic. We want to talk about numbers, statistics, reality, what's really going on here in America. And Bill and I have done some research, and the numbers are staggering. The people that are suffering on a day-to-day basis, year to year, generation to generation, and it's not right. It's not fair. And something has to be done about it. When you look at statistically, and when you look at the statistics, sorry about that, you're looking at 14 million American families, 14 million American families. 54% of those are renters at an average $1,800 a month paying rent. $1,800 a month paying rent. That's 8.4 million plus people that are renters that has the income to purchase a home, but they're not bankable because of their Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion credit report. That's not right. You have 8.4 million plus people. You may have made a mistake, lost your job because you were sick, got a divorce, some unforeseen situation happened, and now you're pigeonholed, but you got your life in order. You're making the money, you're generating the income, but you're renting. Not because you're not creditworthy, because of a mistake, one or two mistakes in your life. And you got to pay for this, which enhances the quality of life. This is what living is all about. When you talk about living the American dream, where's the proof in the pudding? What you say does not add up to what you're doing. To millions of people that just want a better quality of life. And Bill is going to give you some numbers that he researched on the renters that are renting, and if they were approved, they would actually be paying a lower mortgage. They have the income to service that new loan. Bill, you want to go ahead and expound upon that?
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick before I say that, Ms. Rodgers, I really appreciate what you said, because one of the things that I'm going to talk about as I get into this, and one of the things that you really just said, is that there needs to be a disruption in the model, a disruption in the force that has held all these people back for decades and decades. And that's what eCrit really brings to the table. And as we start to look at, some of these numbers, you will really begin to see that there is a huge opportunity for growth in eCrit, and for eCrit's ability to innovate and disrupt this antiquated system. One of the first facts that really jumps out to me is that when you think about home ownership in America, Black home ownership in the United States now, today, in 2022, is at about the same rate as it was in 1968 when the Fair Housing Laws were signed.
Wow.
That is staggering. Maybe I should stop right there and just pause for us to think about that. The The white population owns homeowners are about 75%. They're about 45% in the Black community. There is a 30-point gap, right? A 30 percentage point gap there, which is very interesting because according to a Morgan Stanley report, that equalizing the Black-white homeownership rate over the next 10 years would create more than 5 million new homeowners of color, generate nearly 800,000 new long-term jobs, and raise up to $400 million in additional tax revenue. One reason I think that is really interesting, and Cleveland and I were talking about this a little earlier, is that a company like ECRIT that's going to disrupt this model, that's going to disrupt mortgages and home ownership, is good not only for the ECRIT stockholders, it's good not only for the people who get ECRIT mortgages, but it is good for America, right? It is creating jobs, it is creating wealth, it is allowing people to literally have the American dream and live the American dream. In the Black community, as an example, 70% of all Black wealth is held in their homes, right? 70% of that wealth. Now, if we think about that for a moment, if that's where our wealth is really held, but our home ownership rate is at 45%, that's really hard to build wealth and to have that intergenerational wealth that we can pass on. So it's like, okay, what do we do for that? And this is where ECRIT can come, to the rescue here. It's a system that is disruptive and it's innovative, and it's going to expand the market, which I think is really important. It's important for, generational wealth. It's important for, as Cleveland said, living the American dream, being able to engage in home ownership, being able to engage in wealth building. And, one more thing I want to say about that, 70% of, Black wealth is held in their homes. But in 2020, when there was an opportunity to refinance, only a tiny percentage of, Black homeowners actually refinanced their house. And, some people who did dip into that equity, what they did, was they took a home equity loan. And the home equity loan is not the best choice. And I'm going to stop there and back up because I know Mr. Gary is ready to jump in about those home equity loans.
Well, Bill, when you think about home equity loans, I think of the word destruction. If you have to take out a second mortgage on your house, something is wrong. Because first of all, it's going to affect your income to debt ratio. You have a bigger expenditure to pay every month, now there are some exceptions to the rule. If your income per capita improves and you can service that new debt, that's fine. But in our population, 95%, that's not the case. When you're taking out a second mortgage on your home, normally you're in trouble. So which only gets you deeper in trouble. But the good thing about ECRIT, whether you had a bankruptcy, lien, collections, we based your approvals on what you're doing now. If the income to debt ratio can service that new debt, we're going to get you approved. Now, I know we have to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation, and then we'll kind of transition over into Black Shopping Channel, but we will be right back. I have Julia Pittman and Bill Huston with me, but stay tuned, keep those dials locked, and we're going to be right back to continue this conversation.
This is the Cleveland Gary Show on 104.5 WFLM, The Flame.
Sure, people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit.
You've decided that you're not going to allow your circumstances to define you. You've decided that you're not going to allow the events, the things, the people life determine who you become.
At blackshoppingchannel.com, as a vendor, you can sign up for free and upload your products and sell them to the global e-commerce community and make money. Black Shopping Channel online live stream allows you to promote your products to millions of online shoppers. For independent music artists, you can upload your MP3s, name your own price, and collect your money from the sale of your songs without a record company or agent getting percentages off your music. In other words, you're your own record label. So go to www.blackshoppingchannel.com. Vendors sell your products, shoppers support the vendors, and music artists sell your music. Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma was a true event that took place. A group of African Americans got together and created an economic system that created wealth amongst each other by circulating their dollars within their own community. They were so financially successful until they were bombed, beaten, many killed, resulting in destroying what was once known as Black Wall Street. The Black Shopping Channel is back on the street again to stay. Support the Black Shopping Channel vendors in this new fintech company that is connecting vendors to shoppers, resulting in circulating wealth back into the urban community. And hip hop, rap, and R&B music artists are reaching the world with their music at blackshoppingchannel.com.
eCred is the newest credit evaluation platform. Build a positive eCred credit profile for your bills, such as rent, utilities, cable, telephone, insurance, and any other billing, to pay to validate your creditworthiness to lenders. Get approval for a home, car, and much more through the eCred system. I'm going to take you through the steps that will generate eCred rating report so that lenders can view your eCred rating score to get you that guaranteed approval. Every eCred member receives what is called an eCred ID number. Your eCred ID number is what you give to lenders, so they will have access to view your eCred rating report, establish your eCred credit profile, register for online bill pay. Without these steps, your eCred rating report will not work for you. Simply call our customer service department at a toll-free number. Now, you are well on your way to re-establishing your credit with the new eCred reporting system.
This is a paid advertisement. It does not represent the views of WFLM ownership, management, or staff. This is the Cleveland Gary Show on 104.5 WFLM, The Flame.
Welcome back to the show. We want to talk about making money. Everybody likes to make money, right? But with eCred, we created the referral program. And Bill, we talked about this. It's a way to generate income for the members, which could also play a part in their income to debt ratio. It's we look at it as a very soft model. When I say soft, I mean it's an easy way to make money. You can simply make $75 every single time someone signs up under your referral code. So it's free to sign up at eCred. You know, it's free. You go to www.ecred.com and you sign up. You're a member. You can utilize your social media platform to send out emails. You reference people via your social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And every time someone clicks on that ad, it creates their eCred credit report by adding a minimum of 4 bills, such as your light bill, water bill, phone bill, rental payments. And once they create that credit report, $75 will credit your eCred wallet instantly. And so you're making money. Have you ever seen a credit bureau that puts you in a position to generate 6 figures a year? I don't think so. So we're very proud of our referral program. And I know you were saying to me earlier that this thing could really, really, really make an impact, you know, in helping people, you know, improve their income to debt ratio, you know, as it relates to the referral program.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge opportunity for people to get that peer-to-peer, right? So this is not me telling you that Ecrit is a great company. This is a friend of yours or someone that you know in your network who has actually used Ecrit, who is telling you about the good news. And that makes it so much more powerful. When I think about the opportunity for people to actually use that referral system, one of the things that really jumps out in my mind is, according to NARAB, about 6% of the people in real estate professionals are Black real estate professionals. And I think that the people, the brokers, real estate agents, they should really be looking at Ecrit and jumping all over Ecrit, because this is an opportunity for them to get people signed up for Ecrit, people who are going to potentially, be able to get mortgages, get their credit together, get a house, start to live the American dream. But as a real estate professional, you're also driving traffic and helping these people who at some point are going to help you, because they're going to be your clients moving forward. And, that is really powerful. And I think that, these brokers and real estate agents should absolutely look at Ecrit and look at Ecrit's ability through that referral program for them to make income while helping people. I think that's really important, and that's a really powerful aspect of that referral program.
Thank you, Bill. And as we're moving down the stretch here, we're going to transition here into Black Shopping Channel, and we're going to talk with Julie more in depth, and Bill, also yourself. With Ecrit, it's really simple. Our goal here in the next 3 years, we like to under promise and over reward. When you talk about 8.4 million plus people renting with the income to pay a mortgage, we have to do something about that. That's very important. And if we can get at least 300,000, which would be a sad outcry, of 8.4 million people, can you imagine going to bed at night knowing that 300,000 to 500,000 people are in homes? They own homes, and we were a part of getting them in homes. Man, I could sleep at night. And that creates a situation, being that we are publicly traded, to create over 75 to 100 billion dollars in paper that we hold. We were able to successfully get you approved through the Ecrit lending division. So you got a great opportunity here to create your own Ecrit credit report and have the confidence knowing that you're dealing with the Ecrit Lending Corp. You don't have to go outside. It's like a one-stop shop. It's time to make a change here in America. It's time to take that clear path, go where there's no path, and create your own trail. And we can do this together. We can do this as a team. And we're here to help you become a homeowner. And so we're excited about it. We're a publicly traded company. And, Bill, we've always said it's nice to own equity in companies you do business with. Or we can, switch that around. It's nice to do business and spend your money with companies you own equity in. So we've given you that opportunity to buy the stock. We're selling stock right now at 50 cents a share in our Ecrit IPO. And so the doors are open for you, to not only utilize the Ecrit platform, but to also own stock in the company that you do business with. All right, now let's transition here. We're going to move on down the road here. We have Black Shopping Channel. We've had for quite some time. We were on Dish Network in 14.5 million homes. The advent of the internet has made a tremendous impact in buying and selling. Amazon has consummated the process successfully. And we're just so enamored with the opportunity that we've restructured BSC to create this platform for vendors like you who want to own their own business, be in charge, sell your products to the global e-commerce consumer community. In addition, we've created a music center for BSC artists to take charge and be their own record label, upload their MP3s at blackshoppingchannel.com, set their own prices, and sell them to the global community, giving you total control of your talents, of your artistry talents. You can go to blackshoppingchannel.com and upload your MP3s, sell them, and also you can schedule your own live concert. And we created a platform where we can bring hundreds of thousands and millions of fans into that scheduled live stream at blackshoppingchannel.com, creating the opportunity for you to sell massive numbers as it relates to MP3s. So one thing I'll say, when a group of people decide to get together and say, look, we're sick and tired, we're just tired. Well, first of all, we got to trust each other. We got to trust each other. And we've been in a situation for many centuries and many decades to where our minds have been, just disbarred. We just don't have that trust in each other anymore. But what makes someone else better than the next person? We're just like the next man, whether you're green, purple, tall, skinny, white, blue, purple, or green. It's all about love. You gotta, if there's an opportunity available for you to grow, and there's an opportunity for you to grow together as a unit, then everybody wins. But we cannot win if we don't take action. There's no way you can win if you don't take action. And I hear this term in the streets a lot. We don't want to be like crabs in a bucket. We don't want to be like that. I don't even like that term, but we've been told that many times, crabs in a bucket. It's all about attitude. It's all about, trust. You're going to make mistakes. You get up, you move forward, and you continue to see, the end result. We have a lot of work to do as it relates to building wealth in our vendors. Until our vendors are making money, they're financially independent, we have a lot of work to do. We don't need to be in spots. One person has made it, then it takes you, 100 miles to see the next person. We gotta close the gap. And the only way we're gonna do that is we gotta participate and support each other. And Julie, you've been a member of the Black Shopping Channel how long now?
Oh my goodness. We're 15 years in?
15 years?
Yeah. And I met
So
my youngest child was about 2 or 3, and he just turned 18.
Wow, has it been that long?
It has been that long, yeah.
Jeez, no wonder I'm walking like this now.
So
yeah, I think we were in was it North Carolina when you came on board? What city were we?
Yeah, it was no, let me see, Florida.
Florida? Was it Florida?
Yeah.
How did you hear about us, by the way?
A client, I actually came when you came to DC. You came to DC auditioning vendors for the channel. I'm the owner of Color and Soul Cosmetics. I make,
yes, I was going to get to that.
I make the first makeup for women of color. Shameless plug. And so I make mineral makeup for women of color. And the crazy part is that I had actually gone to another shopping channel that I won't name here, but they 35% of their viewership was African-American women specifically, and they offered not one single cosmetic product for African or women of color. No makeup for women of color. Part of it is they don't know how to make it, and I do. So I auditioned, and they turned me down, got bought out by another company, called me back, had me audition again, and turned me down again.
Wow.
And it was, and the crazy part was they didn't turn me down for any kind of flaw in my actual product, but because they didn't follow the instructions on how to use the product. And it was the movie Joy all over again. They misused the product and then turned me down. And I said, you didn't follow the instructions on how to use the products. They misused the product and then turned me down for that reason. So I was in this space of, here I have a product that I know is valuable to 75% of the planet, which is people of color, without access to these very people. And so the channel came to DC. I'm a native Washingtonian, and the channel came to DC, and I met you in Baltimore. And auditioned there, and became a stockholder, and here we are. Years later, I'm still a fan. I'm still a supporter. I'm still a believer in the vision and the concept that we do have to find our way. I was just watching the movie The Bankers last night with Samuel L. Jackson, And, and talk about making a way out of no way and folk mad because they successfully did it. And you talked about the housing laws changing in 1968. They were the reason that it changed. And
Right.
so, you're so right, Cleveland. We have to get to a place as a people, as a group, that our needs get supported. And especially as the face of the country is changing. America is coming to a place where it is no longer majority white. People of color are commanding the dollars. They are the consumer. And it is time that we have a platform, a place where our very specific needs as ethnic people, not just African American, Asian, Latino, Middle Eastern, Native American, all of these are people of color. And we have to come together and present products that specifically address our needs. In my particular case, I'm all about beauty on our terms versus European terms that don't work for us and have lives crazy every day. But this is a concept. I think you were so far ahead of your time. Back then, it was like people couldn't wrap their brain around the magnitude of what you were presenting.
Yeah, back in the day, Julie, you remember we used to travel around the country. And I remember, when you first came in, we would go from Jacksonville to North Carolina to, all over the country. We would have within a weekend, 30,000 people. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And the internet really changed it, but we've been very fortunate to make the adjustment. And we signed a contract here recently with about 2 months ago with Dish Network, DirecTV, Comcast / Xfinity, Charter, and Spectrum. So we'll be rolling out here in 80 million homes, also on Amazon Fire TV, in addition to Roku. So we kind of revamped the Black Shopping Channel, and we're excited for all of our vendors. And it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to helping vendors make a lot of money, and that's what it's all about, and selling their products to their ethnic groups. And like I said, we're not. It's not about Black people. When we say Black, we say keeping your business in the Black. It's about vendors, white, Black, blue, or green. Now we got to take a break, and when we come back, I have a dear friend of mine, a good friend of mine. We've been friends for over 26 years. I said the show will be 75% business and 25% sports. But when we come back, my friend and I, Jerome Bettis, will be talking. But I want all of you to stay here and let's just talk and utilize this think tank that Mr. Lee and Mrs. Lee has provided for us. And we're going to use it to the best of our ability. So when we come back, we'll continue. So keep those dials locked. We'll be right back.
This is the Cleveland Gary Show on 104.5 WFLM, The Flame.
Sure, people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit.
You've decided that you're not going to allow your circumstances to define you. You've decided that you're not going to allow the events, the things, the people, life, determine who you become.
At blackshoppingchannel.com, as a vendor, you can sign up for free and upload your products and sell them to the global e-commerce community and make money. Black Shopping Channel online live stream allows you to promote your products to millions of online shoppers. For independent music artists, you can upload your MP3s, name your own price, and collect your money from the sale of your songs without a record company or agent getting percentages off your music. In other words, you're your own record label. So go to www.blackshoppingchannel.com. Vendors sell your products, shoppers support the vendors, and music artists sell your music. Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma was a true event that took place. A group of African Americans got together and created an economic system that created wealth amongst each other by circulating their dollars within their own community. They were so financially successful until they were bombed, beaten, many killed, resulting in destroying what was once known as Black Wall Street. The Black Shopping Channel is back on the street again to stay. Support the Black Shopping Channel vendors in this new fintech company that is connecting vendors to shoppers, resulting in circulating wealth back into the urban community. And hip hop, rap, and R&B music artists are reaching the world with their music at blackshoppingchannel.com.
eCred is the newest credit evaluation platform. Build a positive eCred credit profile for your bills, such as rent, utilities, cable, telephone, insurance, and any other billing, to pay to validate your creditworthiness to lenders. Get approval for a home, car, and much more through the eCred system. I'm going to take you through the steps that will generate eCred rating report so that lenders can view your eCred rating score to get you that guaranteed approval. Every eCred member receives what is called an eCred ID number. Your eCred ID number is what you give to lenders, so they will have access to view your eCred rating report, establish your eCred credit profile, register for online bill pay. Without these steps, your eCred rating report will not work for you. Simply call our customer service department at a toll-free number. Now, you are well on your way to re-establishing your credit with the new eCred reporting system.
This is a paid advertisement. It does not represent the views of WFLM ownership, management, or staff. This is the Cleveland Gary Show on 104.5 WFLM, The Flame.
Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Bill Huston and Julia Rodgers. I won't say Pittman. I'll say Rodgers. But
Thank you so much.
So elated. So elated that you guys have joined me. And it's been an amazing show. And being our first show, you know, I'm very excited. And we're going to continue to bring you some great information. And the next guest I'm going to have on the show is a friend of mine I've known for over 26 years. We played professional football together. The amazing back Hall of Famer, Jerome Bettis, played for the Rams and then the Steelers. And then he's retired and is back in school. And so we're going to talk a little bit about everything. This is just a chat conversation. JB, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Don't call me Clee.
I'm just call you Cleve, that's all.
Cleve, yeah. Yeah, Jerome and I have known each other over 26 years. And I tell you, I'm so excited when I heard he was going back to school, you know, to finish up his degree. Jerome, there's some stories, but they just don't know about us. When you first came in as a rookie, we used to sit up in the sauna at 1 and 2 in the morning, you know, trying to lose weight. You know, why don't you tell them about that, JB?
Hey, listen, it was always a struggle because the coaches wanted us to be much smaller than our natural frames were allowing us to be. So it was always that push to lose 3 pounds, in a couple hours, and then we had a little sweat bags on sometimes. I mean, you just did whatever you had to do. So those were the trying times back in the day. It was, but you know what? That's part of what has made us the people that we are, having to fight through some of those things.
Absolutely. JB, tell us, about, your rookie season. And we're going to get into talking about, Brian Flores, NFL, what you think about the league, where it is today, where it was, and down to business. We've retired players and so much has happened. And we want to hear your take, your view on, where the league is. But what's the difference, Jay, between when you first came in to where the league is, right now? It's been a big change.
Big change, a sea change. And I think the biggest change is we played in an era where it was run dominated. And they have since changed the rules to create a more pass dominant game. What they realized maybe about 15 years ago was that the ratings, everything benefited scoring. And so they said to themselves, we have to change our trajectory, and we had to become a different type of league. But it also came at the same time when there was the concussions issue became prevalent. So you had these two factors working hand in hand to really change the identity of the league that had predominantly been this league with 350-pound offensive linemen that just wanted to move you out of the way, to now you have 295, 305-pound linemen, and all they want to do is position themselves in front of you so you don't play run jump on the quarterback. So the game has changed from that perspective, but it's a safer game. I will say that.
Absolutely,
Than we played, because obviously not knowing what a concussion will potentially do to you, obviously for us that was an issue. Now they have a better understanding of it, and they want to avoid those long-term health issues as best they can with the change of the league and the changing of the rules. So it's a different game than we have known it to be.
Absolutely. JB, when you talk about NFL with the politics of the NFL, Brian Flores' situation, it's just amazing when you look at the number of Black head coaches, and we're in 2022. It's just staggering to see the lack of progress in that particular area. Kind of comment on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but it's realistic. And let me explain why I say it's realistic. It's realistic because if you own the company, you're going to hire people that you know, that you trust, that you like, right? And if I don't know anybody from that area, then I probably won't hire anybody from that area. The problem is it starts at the top. First of all, there's no Black ownership. So there's no potential for minorities in terms of in that coaching spectrum, outside of the opportunities that are presented from the owners that are all white. You have one that's Indian, I believe. But outside of that, the opportunities don't exist. So you have to interview. If they like you, they go with you. The problem is they don't know where you come from. If they don't have communications, through the years, then it's not an area where they're comfortable hiring somebody to run their billion-dollar company.
But JB, right? Come on, Jay. Let's
hold on. I'm not done. I'm just saying.
Okay,
I'm just saying that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. What the NFL needs to do is to create opportunities that they can now meet, talk to, see these African-American coaches outside of the interview process, right? So they can get to know some of these coaches like they know some of the white coaches, right? And now they can interact with them more, so that when the opportunity presents itself to hire, oh yeah, I know him. I've had conversations with him. I've got an idea of who he is. And so if we can't get more ownership, right, which we're hollering for, obviously, no African-American ownership, that's the first problem.
Right.
Then
Absolutely.
We need to create opportunities where these owners can get to know who we are as individuals. And when I say we, I mean these coaches that want these opportunities, right? And so that's not happening as well. So as a result of it, when a hiring cycle comes and goes, and 9 coaches hired and one just gets hired, is probably the worst job in the world to get, you got to look at it and say, there is a problem, and we need to try to work in a world where we can fix the problem, and not just say, hey, well, we're working on it. And clearly that's not the case.
Well, Jay, since the inception of the NFL. We've been saying we've been working on it for a long time, but no progress has been made in that area. And when you look at Black ownership, it's when you say getting to know, there should be, when you talk about NFLPA, what are they there for? I mean, there has to be some kind of action taken. You have first of all, there's no Black ownership. It's not like you can't put together the funding to own a team. You have many African Americans, Jay, that are very educated, very smart business owners, and have the ability to run a team successfully. So there needs to be a more equilibrium platform in that area. And so that's a big question mark. What do we do about it? It's not like we don't have the resources collectively. We just need the opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. And so we talk about the coaches not being allowed to coach. The bigger problem is being allowed in the room, right? If there are Black billionaires that can come in and be involved in a process, or they can create enough, right, from a financial standpoint, the bigger problem is they still have to be voted in.
Absolutely, that's true.
And so that's where we have to keep hammering and say, look, you guys need to make it a point to say, we're going to go find the right group. And we want a minority group in. And so that's the problem. Now, these teams don't come up very often because they're passed down from generation to generation. And I get it. If I had a company that was $1 billion company, I would want my child to run. I got no problem with that part.
But Jay, there got to be some
opportunities. Hold on, but when these opportunities come up, there needs to be a concerted effort to say, we want to look and see if we can find minority partnership. And I don't believe that is being done. Well, and so we see this Denver Broncos team now is going to be up for sale. Right. Now the question becomes, is it real that they're talking about, hey, we're trying to make it happen, or is it not real? And we're going to know in short order what the NFL true stance is in terms of the ownership side, because we can scream all day, but we can't make these owners hire, these Black candidates. We can't make them. Right. But what we should say is, listen, if you guys are not willing to bring viable candidates in the ownership side, now we have to look at our options in terms of turning you off and not following you, not watching you, not supporting you, because clearly you don't want to create any type of level playing field from ownership perspective. So we have to leverage our ability, our financial capacity as Black folks to say, look, this has got to stop, or else we're going to stop buying the hats, and we're going to stop watching the games. We're going to stop buying the tickets.
Jay, I know you can go on and on. Let me tell you something. You took up, we got about 40 seconds. Boy, you can go.
Well, you hit on something that's serious, man.
They don't know now. That's what
it's wrong. What's happening?
Jay was like that his rookie year. Jay coming there, boy. I tell you, we have practice. Look, we got to watch the clock with Jay talking. I'm telling you that. Or we're gonna be late. Jay will get you fine. But Jay's my brother, man. We've known each other for 26 years. I love this brother. He's a great guy. And I said, Jay, come on the show, man. I called him on the spur of the moment. And every time I call Jay, he's like, man, look, I'm there. Call me, Cleve. And Jay, you've always been a faithful friend, man, throughout the years. You're a great guy. And that's why God has blessed you so much. But Jay, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. And thank you so much. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Julie. You guys are great. I appreciate you. And we'll keep you in our prayers. Keep us in your prayers. And we thank you for watching the show. And we will continue this next week. And y'all take care. Take care of your families, and remember, God's greatest commandment is love. Until next time, take care of yourself.
WFLM White City, The Flame. It's the all-new cool Flame. WFLM White City.